What's up, everybody? 1.5 has been released. It's been a few days now. I think it's Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving if you're watching on Thanksgiving. Finally got a build put together. Started with Alpha Bridge. Didn't like it because I like to snipe and I like to shoot assault rifles or whatever other gun I like to prefer to use. So I ended up going back to Strikers. Now Strikers is really awesome. Running 4-piece Strikers, and they changed Strikers. I don't know how long ago you have played this game, but it's been changed since probably the last time you played it, if you're looking at a build guide. And 20% stability is now the 2-piece bonus. This is actually a really good stat with the changes that they've done to stability and mods. Stability is actually really good. 3-piece bonus, enemy armor damage, and the 4-piece bonus, and enemy armor damage is also really good. And if you didn't know this, it works in PvP now. Only 1/3 of it, so 33% of it. So this is only really a 3.3% damage mitigation, but it's more than a damage percent. It's not a percent damage increase. It actually removes their armor. It removes their armor mitigation. So that's really cool. That's a really cool thing in PvP. So I recommend stacking this everywhere you can get it, in PvE and PvP. And the 4-piece bonus. It's stayed the same. Every consecutive hit deals 1% more damage, and it stacks up to 100%. When you miss shots, it drops by 2%, and the damage, the counter is reduced 1% every second. They've added a nice little counter as well, so it tells you how many stacks you have, and that's a really nice feature. Now, the new things to this build that you may not have seen, I'm using this new chest. Unfortunately, this chest is pretty bugged out right now and doesn't really work, which is why I'm not inside the base of operations currently. If you want to test it out, make sure you log out and log back in with the chest, and make sure your skill power is buffed. Because what this chest does is when no skills are on cooldown, it increases your skill power by 10%. So if you notice you don't have as much skill power as you have more as the skill power of it not applying, then that means your chest doesn't work. If you notice that it's working, it'll work. Now, when you have one skill on cooldown, it increases your damage by 5%. That's pretty cool because say you pulse, now your pulse is on cooldown, you have 5% bonus damage. It's a nice little stat there. And before you used your pulse, that pulse was buffed by the 10% skill power. And then say you need to heal because you're getting shot. You pop your heal, now you have 2 skills on cooldown. Unfortunately, you don't get both of these. That would be really awesome. But it turns into armor by 10%. So you get increased armor by 10% when you have 2 skills on cooldown. And then once you have 1 back on cooldown, it goes back to the damage. So this is a really, really awesome chest. I think this is the best piece of gear in the game, honestly. It's my favorite piece. I wish they had more gear and talents in this game that were unique and interesting like this one. I really, really like this. They did a great job on this. Now if they can just make it work 100% of the time, that'd be sweet. Because currently it's pretty much useless because it'll stop working. And the only way to fix it is to log out and log back in, which I'll show you when we go inside. So let's look at my stats. I'm at 285k DPS, 311k toughness, 122 skill power. Now we're going to pop a pulse. And we will look here. It's going to jump up to like around 300. So now we're at 299, 311, and 111. So my skill power dropped and my DPS went up. Now we're going to pop a heal. So we've got 2 skills on cooldown. We lost our damage. We gained our toughness. And then now we have 1 skill on cooldown. So we're back to having damage. And once we put another pulse out, we will now have increased toughness. Boom. We lost our damage. Gained our toughness. It's really awesome. I like this piece so much. It's amazing. Now, the other piece, these are there's another option here. Now, Savage Gloves, people like Savage Gloves, but they got nerfed pretty bad in 1.4. I think it was 1.4. They used to be like 14 crit chance to targets out of cover. Now they're only 7 crit chance to targets out of cover, and that's not very good, especially because crit... Oh my god, crew is so loud. Especially because crit damage has also been nerfed all around, and you can't get that high a crit damage anymore compared to what you used to. So what I run instead is this backpack currently. It's called the Specialized Backpack. It adds it's got buffed 200% of your firearms and stamina to skill power. And the way you figure out how much it's going to add, you add your firearms, you add your skill power. We have what? We have about a little bit over 1,100 or 11,000 firearms and skill power added together. So what you do is you times that by 2, and that's how much skill power it's going to add. It adds about 22,000 skill power, something like that. Pretty badass backpack. I really like it. Make sure you got armor on everything. Armor on your backpack. Preferably you'd have increased ammunition here as well. But armor and ammo is what you want on your backpack. On your chest, you always want armor. I didn't choose it. It's got damage to elites. You could choose whatever you want as long as it's got armor. And then ammo capacity would also be what you want to go for. So this is pretty sweet. This was actually given to me by Silver Things. We were farming. I was farming all day for it. Lexington Event Center is where I got this from a Lorraine Barrett. You can get it from hard or challenging mode, and she can drop this. It's Barrett's Bulletproof Vest, and that's why she drops it. So that's pretty cool. Really like this. And thank you again, Silver Things, for giving me this chest. It is a great roll. Mine's firearms, damage to elites, armor, and ammo capacity. As far as stats on your other gear, mask, your minor, you want to have enemy armor damage. Your major, either skill power, crit chance, or damage to elites. I personally want damage to elites more than crit chance, but I haven't found a striker's mask with that yet. But I will be replacing it with damage to elites, enemy armor damage on here. Knee pads, same thing. You want enemy armor damage as your minor attribute, and then you definitely want to have armor on there. They buffed knee pads, so they roll up to like 1,200 armor now. Really crazy. And they nerfed crit damage on knee pads, so instead of 20 crit damage, you get 8 crit damage. It used to be the choice of like 300 armor or 20 crit damage. Obviously, the crit damage was worth it. Now, the choice is 1,200 armor or 8 crit damage. Yeah. You can figure that one out. Gloves, I choose Striker's gloves. You could use Savage gloves, but honestly, I think the backpack is better than Savage gloves. Unless you're sitting on like 100 crit damage, Savage gloves are not going to give you the benefit as that backpack does. Especially if you're running Pulse. That backpack gives me like 3 crit chance. So really, I'm only losing 4 crit chance with my Pulse. Compared, so it almost makes up for it. Plus, this backpack, the real reason I switched to it is it gives me 30,000 more healing. Or each time I heal, it gives me more than 30,000 health. Oh my god, can you please stop yelling? Jesus Christ. It's just ruining my video. Alright. The other thing, last thing here, Striker's holster. We've got, holsters are pretty much easy. There's nothing to them. There's armor. That's it. You want high main stats, and you have armor. That's it. There's nothing else. As far as mod slots go, you want to make sure your skills are unlocked. Make sure your skills are unlocked. I have high firearms, fairly high stamina, and enough electronics to unlock my skills. I recommend having armor on everything. Every mod slot you want armor. Highly recommend. Highly recommend armor on every mod slot. Now, when it comes to performance mod slots, I went with 2 things of first aid self-heal and 2 things of pulse crit chance. Since I'm pulsing, I've got the pulse crit chance in 2 of them and self-heal in 2 of them. You can choose whatever you want depending on your skills. The skills that I'm using, like I said, is pulse and self-heal. I like that. I run overdose to give me a strong heal. I heal for 123,000 hit points. Plus, it'll give me an overheal if I'm not almost all the way dead. And I run pulse. I'm getting 20.2% crit chance and almost 22% crit damage. So that's not a bad pulse. And that's to everyone in your party. So it's pretty decent there. Talents that I run steady hands, definitely. Running strikers, you want to run steady hands. I run one is none for the headshots, 50% chance of not consuming a bullet. I run critical save, Using a med kit during low health increases your damage resistance by 40%. And wait, what is this? I don't normally run this. This is from something old. This is stopping power. Suppress a hostile to increase headshot damage by 25% for 10 seconds. Honestly, this is not a bad stat. If there's any hostiles suppressed, your damage is increased. Your headshot damage is increased by 25%. And it doesn't need to be the target that's suppressed. It can be any. But that's not what I normally use. I think... I don't know what I would use here. Probably on the move. I'm going to run on the move. That's what I'm going to run. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 30 seconds for 10 seconds. You can really choose whatever you want here. You could do another healing one. You could go with adrenaline. When you're not at full health, you get an overheal. You could go with combat medic. Heals your teammates. You could go with tech support to extend duration of your skills. Like say you've got smart cover. This is a really good one when you're running smart cover. This is a nice one. Or no, not this one. Where is it? The one where you move cover to cover to get bonus damage. Where is that one at? I forget where it's at. Am I tripping? I swear. It's a thing. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe that's like on a... Maybe that's... Oh, here it is. Here it is. Complete a... This got nerfed, unfortunately. Complete a cover-to-cover move to increase weapon damage by 2% per meter covered for 5 seconds. It's still pretty good, but I believe it got nerfed. Tactical advance. If you move cover to cover a lot, it's actually really good. You can get some big damage bonuses and get some real good stuff there. If you run a nimble holster, it works really good as well because nimble heals you moving cover to cover. So if you do run tactical advance, I recommend not running the backpack and running the nimble holster and use your cover to covers and it's fun to play like that. I just forget to do it. So I'm going to go back to on the move, steady hands, one is none, critical save. Now, as far as weapons go, when you're running strikers, you want to make sure you're landing your shots. When you're trying to build stacks, sometimes it's better to just aim for the chest. It depends what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to kill them really fast, aim for the head. But I recommend the LVOA. I swear they buffed the LVOA as far as its recoil pattern. It didn't used to be as good as it is now. When I tested it a while back in 1.3, it had recoil that went to the left or the right. Now it goes straight up. It does not go anywhere other than straight up. It's got amazing recoil. My LVOA got really lucky on this 256. I got this from a survival run. It rolled prepared, which damage is increased by 15% when you're more than 30 meters from the target. It's not the greatest for an assault rifle, but it's also not the worst. Brutal, really great. Headshot damage increase. And destructive, best talent for guns now. Destructive is armor destruction increased by 15%. It's also got 22% enemy armor damage on it already. So it's got a ton of enemy armor damage on this gun. And it shoots like a dream. Look at this thing. When we pop our steady hands and shoot this gun, it's amazing. Thing's a laser beam. And then the other gun I use is this new M700 Carbon. This is a new gun. It's awesome. It also rolled destructive. Best stat in the game, like I said, as far as damage goes. And predatory. Predatory got buffed. It's really good now. Killing a target regenerates 35% health over 20 seconds. So every time you kill an enemy, you'll have a constant heal. It's not a ton, but it's really noticeable when you're doing it. It doesn't stack, so you can't kill like 10 enemies and get it to do it a ton of times. But every 20 seconds, as long as you're getting kills, you will be healing. And it's really good to have on a sniper rifle because you get the killing blow in a part. Say you're playing in a party, you don't get the killing blow, you also don't get predatory to proc. So this is a great stat to have on sniper rifles, and really love it. Now I've rolled this 4 times now. I get one more roll on this gun. I'm trying to get brutal, but I got prepared. So if I don't get brutal, I'll be happy enough with prepared again. Damage increase 15% when more than 30 meters from the target. It's really good, but I would rather have I would rather have brutal on this because you pretty much want to always aim for the head. And I got really lucky. It rolled 168 headshot damage. If this would have been 150 headshot damage, I would have been really sad. Probably cried. Someone in my chat right now, while I'm recording this video, is asking me what I think about the FAMAS. I think it's horrible. It's got the worst horizontal recoil ever. It goes left, it goes right. Good luck landing hits with that. The only time I'd ever use that is a stat stick for Alpha Bridge, using it as a secondary that you never fire. Pistol I'm running is nothing special right now. I've got a responsive tactical M1911. Oh, let's show the stats, or the mods on the guns. So LVOA. We have a scope with headshot damage, crit damage, and crit chance. We have a muzzle. Why does it look so weird? This angle looks wrong. Let me move here. I don't know what was going on with that. So here we go. This looks a lot better. So scope, headshot damage, crit chance, crit damage. It's a nice scope. I bought this in 1.4. It was a vendor scope. I recommended everyone on my stream that was watching to go buy a few of them, and I did. Same thing with the suppressor. Bought a few of these. Omega rifle suppressor. It's also got headshot damage, crit chance, crit damage. Almost identical to the scope. My underbarrel, I'm using this small red grip. Crit damage, stability, and optimal range. You could choose whatever you want, but I went with crit damage. I tried out a huge optimal range underbarrel. You can get them to you can get like 50% optimal range, which is pretty cool, but I have a decent crit chance when I'm running my pulse, so the crit damage will be better than the optimal range for me. And I chose it in the bottom to give it a little bit over 30 meters. Magazine, mag size, crit chance, and fire rate. This was the best mag that I had. They nerfed the fire rate quite a bit, but it still makes a decent difference. Fire rate's really good for strikers, so you can build your stacks faster. I have almost a 900 RPM and a 64 round mag. Now, the M700 is almost identical. We've got the same scope. We've got the same muzzle. We've got the same grip. I think I purchased all of these things from vendors because they're identical. They are the same things. And the magazine is almost the same too. Mag size, crit chance, crit damage. I didn't go with rate of fire on this because you don't need it. But that's what I run for mods. And I think I covered all the stuff. Let's go shoot this in the firing range. And if you're new to the game and don't know how Strikers works, it's really cool. So remember how I had 122,000 skill power? When you walk inside the safe house, this chest will no longer work. And chances are if you walk back out, this is bugged. Hopefully they fix this soon because it's really lame. It pretty much renders your chest useless. It's not fixed. And my DPS will probably not go up when I use a skill. Nope. And when I use 2 skills, my toughness won't go up. So this chest is now broken. The only way to fix it is to relog. And I don't know how long if you relog and you go do other things, if it will still work until you go into the safe house or what. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't tested it out enough, but I'll find out tomorrow on my shift if you can actually keep it working through a whole run without going to the safe house. So that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully they fix that soon. And let's go shoot some things in the... Oh, I guess we're going to shoot some paper. But... Is it still possible to buy this script? Someone's asking me in chat. I don't believe so. I got all these mods a long time ago. But I'm sure you can get something similar. I'm not sure. Alright, so... As you can see, Steady Hands is procced. This thing's a laser beam. Man-sized target at 30 meters is nothing. Really easy. We can pop Steady Hands again. Even headshots. So easy to keep these on target. Build these stacks up. Now look at my DPS. 567k. So then when you build your stacks up, they don't need to be full. You switch to your marksman rifle. And then you snipe. And I'm hitting for almost 1 million to this paper. 950,000 right there. That's really good. And that's to paper. Keep in mind, with this marksman rifle, these pieces of paper are not pulsed. The pulse only lasts for a second down in here. So I'll be hitting harder because of my pulse. And they're also not elites, and they don't have armor. So we're bonus damaged here. What do we got? 16% to elites, and 42.5 enemy armor damage. So that's a huge amount. I could probably crit for almost 2 million if I was stacked up. Earlier today, I wasn't as optimized, and I crit for 1.6 million, and I think I had 60 or 70 stacks. So I wouldn't be surprised if I'm fully stacked up with a pulse that I could hit for 2 million with this sniper rifle now. And the amount of enemy armor damage I have with this gun is even more. We've got, what do we have here? I think we have 80 total between, damage to elite 16, 64. We have 80.5 bonus damage that's not being applied. 64.5 to the enemy's armor and 16% to elites. So this build is really solid. It kills shit so fast in the hardest difficulty. Running solo missions, it's a breeze. Running with a group, it's amazing. This is the build I think is the best build all around. And it's what I'm going to be running for a while. Now, if you're strictly PvPing, you might find something better. You might like Predator's Mark. You might like Alpha Bridge. You might like the Banshee set. But as far as an all-arounder, for someone who likes to shoot with an assault rifle and then switch to a marksman rifle when things are further away, or just to spend the stacks, this build is just great all around and really fun to play. And once you get the good gear, I think you're going to love it. So, yeah. I think that's about it. I think I covered everything. When you're running solo, I recommend using this. They changed the recovery link. When you're running solo, it automatically triggers on lethal damage, so it's a second life. It's amazing when you run solo. If you're not running solo, I recommend using this tactical link. It's been buffed to give you rate of fire and whatnot. Look at this thing. Watch this. We're going to pop it and just dump into this head. Look at this rate of fire. We are already stacked up. We have 1 million DPS! Oh my goodness. We had 1 million DPS there, guys. Holy shit. That puts you up to 1 million DPS fully stacked. That's insane. Oh my god. So what I do is when I'm running and I see an LMGer, those guys are really spongy. And their shields count for strikers. So if you see an LMGer, you can just pop that SIG, dump into them. If they're a shielded guy and they're hiding, just dump into their shield, build the stacks up, pull out your sniper rifle, and kill them in 1 or 2 shots. You're going to love it. So, really recommend those SIGs. I wouldn't recommend the survival link over those because both of those are just so much better now, in my opinion. And I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. And that'd be awesome. Check out the other videos. I'll be making more build videos. Even if I just plan on using this one primarily, as I get better gear for the other sets, which I don't have yet, I will make more videos on all those. I'll do gun review videos showing off my new guns that are good. And anything else that I can think of. If you want to comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know what you would change or do differently. And if you want to watch me stream on Twitch, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern every day, except Saturdays. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you around.